All right, everyone. Good day. This is Austin Asoluka Slick Codes recording for Start.ng, and this course will be a very quick introduction to HTML and CSS. We'll be building what you see on screen at a very fast pace. All right. First of all, to write HTML or CSS code, you need what is called a text editor. And for this quick introduction, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. This is not a recommendation for you. This is based on personal preference. So you could go out there and then search for other options that we have, like Sublime, Atom, Brackets, and the rest of them, but I'll be making use of Visual Studio Code. All right, let's get started. HTML actually is a short term for hypertext markup language. Seriously, it's kind of boring going through all the definitions and the rest of them, so that's why I can't just wait to start coding. Okay, you'll be given materials during this course that will aid your knowledge on some background on these languages that we'll be working with. Okay, quickly I'll launch Visual Studio Code VS, and here we are. I want to clear this window, and okay, let's just create a new project. Open folder, go to my desktop, new folder. I'll call it start.ng. Okay, I'll open this folder on my workspace. This is my workspace, you see on screen. Maximize this is my workspace. So I have my start.ng project opened on Visual Studio Code. I have to create a file. I just come here, right on this icon, and click new file, and I name it index.html. If you run a site called slickcodes.com, the first page that shows up on the browser when a user enters your website on the URL locator and hits enter is called the index page. So by default, your browser goes to look for the index page to render to your user. Okay, and this .html here is very important as the type of the file. This is the file extension .html, just as we have .jpg, .gif, and the rest of them. Web files, HTML files, are named .html. That means, they're giving the extension .html. I have our index.html right here. All right, I will be a bit fast because this is meant to be just an overview of what you can do basically with HTML and CSS. Okay, so I will start creating elements with what we call tags. Now this is a tag. This is the doc type tag. Basically, a tag is made up of your opening delimiter, this angular bracket, and the corresponding closing angular bracket, like this. A less than symbol and a greater than symbol facing each other. This is not yet a tag until it has a name, a valid tag until it has a name. So for example, this is HTML. This becomes automatically an HTML tag. All right, the opening delimiter, the tag name, the closing delimiter. This is now called an HTML tag. All right, and for every opening HTML tag, you have a corresponding closing HTML tag. All right. For every tag in HTML that you open, you have to close. But there are exceptions to this rule. We'll get, when we get there, we'll talk about them. But for now, just have it at the back of your mind that for every tag you open, when writing the HTML code, you have to make sure that it is closed. Okay, so I'll give you a tip here. What I do is I close every tag I open before I provide the content. For some programmers, you might type and finish giving the content. For example, let's say B, some guys might go with the content and then close B. But what I do is I open and I close before I come in here, and this is to avoid problems in the future. You don't want to debug HTML, trust me. All right, so here we are. Thank God for text editors like Visual Studio Code we have around now. They can automatically close your tags as you open. For example, yeah, just does that for you. But in case you run into a situation where you have to use a text editor that is not as smart as this, just make sure you play safe by closing every tag you open before you proceed. All right, that is that for that. Okay, we've talked about tags. Tags are the building blocks of our HTML pages or our web pages. But tags form what is called an element. For example, we have this is called altogether an HTML element. An element is made up of the opening tag, the content, and the closing tag. For example, we have a content now. This is a child of the HTML element. This is now called an element because it is made up of the opening, content, and the closing tag. The content of an element would be an element. Yeah, if that's the case, you call the inner element the child of the outer element. So for now, this body element is a child of the HTML element. All right, so this could go as deep as you want it. Yes, inside the body we could have a P element. Now P becomes what now? A child of the body element, and the body element is a child of the HTML element. Okay, so HTML element is now the parent of the body, and the body the parent of the paragraph. So go as deep as you want it in hierarchy. Okay, all right, we're missing something here. There's a very important element called the head. Yeah, head element. All right, what happens is now you impute codes that will not be visible to your users here. The codes you impute into the head section or the head element are codes that are basically for how do I put it now? They are basically for the browsers. Yes, the browser knows how to read what is there, interprets it, and your page is rendered based on some of the instructions that we have in the head section. Okay, one of such is a link. I'll leave the other more complicated ones out so that we don't get into more stuff. During the course you see a lot more elements that we could have in the head section. All right, one of them we could have is the link. The link element is used to link an external style sheet. A style sheet is a CSS file where you have your style definitions. We have different patterns or different methods of linking CSS to HTML. Now what CSS does is the full meaning of CSS is cascading style sheet. What it does is that's what's used to beautify your HTML. HTML is just the basic building block for your web page. It's like erecting pillars, without blocks, without paints, without furnitures in it. So it's just like a skeleton. So what you need is your CSS to clothe your HTML and beautify it, position things here and there, and a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so what we do now with the link element is we link an external. So if the method you are using is external style sheet, if you are linking an external file to your HTML file, what you do is you use the link element to get that done. Okay, the real style sheet, we'll talk about this. You learn about this during the main course. Then we have the href, okay, and I'll give it now style.css, okay, because I plan on creating a file named style.css here in the same directory where this index.html file is saved. Okay, we'll talk more about paths as the class proceeds, relative and the rest style of linking documents. We'll talk about them. Okay, now we have real style sheet real style sheet href style.css. okay, so I'm going to create this file now. This is where my CSS codes are going to reside. Okay, I'll come here, this same place, right click new file, and I will just paste CSS. Okay, we have our CSS file now. All right, now once this web page is being passed by the browser, what it does is that it starts reading from the top like this. When it gets here, it discovers that there is a link, and the link is pointing to a style sheet in this address. Okay, yeah, so it goes and fetches this style.css and knows that this current page has to be rendered having all our CSS definitions in mind. So your CSS codes will be applied to the relevant elements that you targeted in your style.css file. Okay, let's proceed quickly. I'm pressed for time. All right, we'll be doing something that looks like a chat interface. Yes, it's going to be really basic, really basic. All right. Sorry. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's see what we'll be building first. Normally this will be provided you by your UI UX guy in your team. If you don't have one of those or one of those kind of persons that does the designs for you, you have to do it yourself. Okay, it's usually the best practice to design your interface before you build. Okay, so that's why we are here looking at our design. This is our design, this is what we want to produce. So you'll be given a design and you will have to produce what was given exactly as it was given. Okay, so that's our goal for this session. All right, let's go. Permit me, I would have to copy this text. It's not really fun typing if it's not code. Sorry. All right, I've pasted it here, and don't worry, don't be confused just yet. We'll walk through this together. All right, I have some tags I would like to introduce you to. They're called HTML5 tags. Yeah, these tags are semantic tags. What they are used for is basically descriptive to some engines. For example, your search engines, they know how to search engines, screen readers, they know how to interpret these tags when they come across it. All right, so one of them is called the main element. Now this is nothing other than semantics. Now what this does is that it tells whichever engine is interested that this is the main part of the document. Just basically main. Okay, let's go further. This is the main element. You know what an element is, and inside the main element I'll be creating a div. And I'll be giving this div a class. All this will be explained to you as you go through the course. Okay, this is just an overview, trying to get your mind to that. Okay, I'll call this a card class. Now this element would be what we see here, this orange guy. This orange guy that has curved corners. Okay, this is the card elements that we just created. We'll see how it would be created inside the card class or the card div. You can call it a card div. Inside the card div we'll be creating a heading h1. We have h1 to h6 tags. Okay, I think I'll leave the explanation to when you start your course. All right, we have h1. Just know that this indicates a heading. When you see h1 to h6, they all indicate headings of different hierarchy. All right, so this is h1. We'll come in between and we are going to give it this content, hello start.ng. We'll save. I'm going to comment this out. Now comments do not show on your browser. We'll talk more about comments when the course starts. This is something basic that every programmer should know how to use comments. Okay, they are parts of your code that are not for the compiler or the interpreter to work on. It's just most times for another programmer or even yourself to remind you what is a certain section of code does. Okay, so it's very important you comment your code. So I'll be employing comments now to get this out of the way so that it does not show on our browser when we get to view this file online. All right, we have hello start.ng now. Let's go quickly and then view this on our browser. I'll come here. Don't worry, you will know how to access this. Okay, or let's go from scratch. All right, let's go from scratch. Okay, come to my desktop, double click on index launch. Okay, we have it on the on our browser now, hello start.ng. Okay, this is what we created, just a heading, nothing more. All right, we'll come down here and create a paragraph, and then the content will be what I cannot read. This is what you read for yourself. All right, we have another paragraph here. I think from here to the last will just be basically paragraphs. Okay, you know what the paragraph is in English. Same applies here. Okay. Right, just follow me. Sorry. Okay. I think we would need this again. Okay, I'm saving. Let's go to the browser. Yep, so we have all our text here. So what we need now is just a design. Okay, so I'll be coming here to, as you can see now, this is what we could achieve with HTML, just plain text. on our browser. Okay, so all the beauty, the positioning, and the rest that you have been seeing on different websites, that's the work of CSS. Okay, that's what we use CSS for. Okay, we'll be applying different CSS rules to affect what we have here now. Okay, let's go back to our styles.css file. Now note that the styles here will only be able to affect what we have on index.html because we have linked it. Okay, they are now linked. All right, so let's go. The basic syntax for CSS is this. You have your selector, your opening and closing brace, you have your property, then you have the value. Okay, now this selector, now what you usually provide here is how you want to target your element. For example, if you want to target an element using its name, you specify here. For example, we say HTML. Any property and value that we apply here affects our HTML elements because that's what we specified as the target. Okay, if we specify body, it will affect the body element, and most times it goes down to the children depending on what you are applying. Okay, if we target a P now, we'll be targeting the P elements. Okay, all P elements on our page. Okay, if you target H1, you'll be targeting you'll be affecting the H1 element with your property and values. Okay, apart from targeting by element, selecting by element, we can select by class. For example, we had the card class. We come back to check. We had the card class. Okay, we can target this element using the class name. That we do by specifying the dots followed by the class name, which is card. Okay, now any property and value we specify here will basically affect this card element and everything within it. Okay, depending on, again, the property that you're specifying. Okay, you can target using the ID. If that was an ID, you can use hash, then the ID name. We'll talk about this, or you will learn about this as the class proceeds. Okay, now I will be very fast, and okay, let me quickly explain the property and value. Now, property is basically for example, when you right click on a file and you have some options there, you click on property, you see various attributes of the of the file, the size, and some others, what have you, the location and the rest. Now the property now will be affecting the attributes of that element. For example, you can specify here that you want to change the background color, or background color, you could see red, sorry about that, red. You could see the font size of every font that would be within this element. Font size should be 10 px, blah 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 blah, what have you. Now the value, as you can see, it's apparent and self-explanatory. The value is what that attribute should be: background color red, font size 10 px, just like that. Okay, I will be very very fast in doing this. Don't be alarmed. You can pause the video, look at what's going on, and get a grasp of what we're doing. Okay, targeting the main now, the main element. I'll give it a display of flex. This will take some time to explain, so you will learn it during the main course. Justify content, center, align items, center. Now what I do as a student is that I love researching a lot, so don't feel confused just yet. Take up the challenge and research on these properties that you see. Okay, font family, I'll be giving it monospace because I want it to look like just the way our source code is looking now. I want it to have this kind of font style. Okay, that's for the main. Let's go now and then refresh and see what have we done. And this is what we just did with CSS. We took it from where it was around here, and brought it here. So center, that's justify content center, align center. All right, that will be explained as we proceed. Okay, but we are close to what we see here. Yeah, we are. Okay, I will go again very fast. I'm targeting H1. Color should be black, right? Text align should be center. All right, text decoration should be underlined. Okay. Let's see, center. I just moved the center from here too. Okay, let's go. I think I'll do a couple more before we refresh again and see what's going on. All right, background color, I want it to be black. Okay, I want the padding to be 10 px. Okay, I have a syntax error here. I was able to notice that because I've been doing this for a while now. Okay, just be careful when you code. All right, we have targeting the card. That's the card class. A display of flex, just as we did to the main. Justify content center, right? Flex direction column, flex. Okay, minimum height, we want it to be 50 view height. That's view height, it's a unit. We'll learn more about that. 30 view width. Okay, want the background color to be FF9800. You learn more about this. This is RGB, red, green, blue. We need a full red. The amount of green we need now is 98 and none of blue. Okay, I think you learn more about that as you progress in the course. Okay, border radius 10 px. This is the edge of the box. What we have here usually here would be sharp, so we are making a curvature here. So yeah, that's what we just did with border radius. Okay, we're giving it 20 px. Sorry. Okay, text align center. Okay, let's see what we've done so far. Hope we are progressing. All right, this is what we've done so far. Okay, this is what we've done. All right, I don't like this. I need a space. I need to add a padding inside this gold container so that this does not come off to the edge. Okay, so I will come here inside the card and I'll specify a padding of 10 px. That would solve my sorry about this. All right, so sorry. Okay, getting this text align off. Do I actually need it? Let's proceed with it. Get rid of styles that we don't need, just to fit what we trying to reproduce. Okay. What's the next thing here? We want this. Okay, we want every chat by every message from a gungun to be aligned, to your left. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll come here, and I want the name of the sender to be highlighted and the color should be in gold. Okay, so what I'll do is here, I'll come here. There's what we call span. Span. Now the span element is inline in nature. Okay, we'll learn more about that, what it means as the class proceeds. So it enables me able to select, a piece of text from a group of text, not only text, some other things, but in this context, I just want to isolate a Google text and affect it with a styling. Okay, so I have the span now. I'll give it a name. I'll give it the class name because we are going to have so many responses from a Google. So I'm creating a class instead of an ID. Class allows you to affect multiple elements as opposed to ID. You can have different students in a class, but you can't have different students with an ID. So that's why I'm choosing to use class. We'll learn more about this during the main course. Okay, this will be a Google class, and I will quickly do something here. You don't need to know what's going on, but if you're so interested, you can. I'll come here, a Google. Unfortunately, he was only able to speak twice during the conversation. Okay. All right. Now we have this guy. Now, also I'll create another class and another span element with a class of me. With a class of me. Okay. Bring in this column inside of me. Okay. I will quickly take this, copy, replace this guy with it. So all right, we're here. Now there's an element I'm going to introduce now is a self-closing element. It's an exception to the rule that says you have to close every tag that you open. All right, so this is a self-closing tag. You wouldn't need to provide a separate tag when you close. Okay, you close it immediately, you open it. All right, that'll become clear as you progress. Okay, now the B arrow tag is what I'm talking about. What it does is it takes the text that will be coming after it to the next line. Yeah, every text that will come after the B arrow tag goes and starts on a new line. Yeah, it's a force wrap. So you just force wrapping with the B arrow. Okay, so I'll come here and I'll say B arrow. Yeah, that's a break. I'll come, okay, well, we're going again. I'll come here and program on whether, okay, I remove this. These are supposed to be 1. I remove this. It's supposed to be same. And I'll put a B arrow here. B arrow. Now, take a look at what we have. You'll notice that some text will wrap to the bottom. Let's refresh and see. Now you're seeing I am a programmer. What I write, they were on a separate, paragraph before, but now they are all together. Okay. Nothing to be confused about. Pause the video, look at the codes, rewind if you need to, and you'll get what we are doing. This is very, very basic implementation of HTML and CSS, very basic. All right, okay. Now I want my Google sender and me to be of the gold color. So I'll copy this color here right now. I'll come here and I'll say P span. I'll say span. I'll just say dot egungun. Yes, I'll just say dot egungun. And I'll say color should be this. That should work. All right, and I'll come here and say dot me. And see color should be no. Come here and select. Just do multiple selection. You learn about this instead of writing too many codes. And let's see. Dot me. Span class. Okay. We have to include the class here. Class me. Okay, come here and you get that now. Okay, I have to make this now express you they go come on the same place with a Google. Be careful, so I have to remove paragraph here. I use a break instead. I remove this paragraph and yeah, we're fine. Okay, this is good. So I want a Google to be aligned to the left and me to come to the right. Alright, so I'll come here and I'll see dot a Google text align should be left we said. I'll say dot me text align should be right. Okay, what do we have text align left, text align right. I'll come here to my card and I'll remove this guy, text align center, and see what we get. Okay, I'll come here, text align left and right. Boom, boom, me. That was happening. This is supposed to be basic stuff. Okay, let's come here and I'll see span dot me. Should I be more specific? Alright, now guess what? This is one of the funny times you get. Alright, this is supposed to be working. Supposed to be working. I have my me. Here. Coming, I'm still on. Soon be done. Me. What's up? Okay. Alright, I'm supposed to target the paragraph itself. Oh my. We'll be doing a code refactoring now. I'll take this class, this entire class, and I'll put it in the paragraph. Alright. I'll take this entire class, put it in the paragraph. Naming. Come here. I'll take this guy. Come here. I'll take this guy. And I'll come here. Alright, come here back now. And I'll see paragraph that has a child, a span child of dot Google class. Paragraph that has a span child of me. The paragraph dot Google span dot me. The paragraph now has the class. So this is paragraph dot Google. Sometimes it happens to you. Just have to debug and get it right. Okay. Oops. We are here. Alright, this is how interesting it is to code. So now we have exactly what was delivered to us as our design. I hope you have been able to follow, and hopefully you pick some form of knowledge from here, and glad to okay, Okay, I think everything is good. All right. Thank you for joining me. I'll be signing out now, and I hope to be able to present something to you better next time. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.